So I wanted to introduce you to the basics, the foundational rhythms that hold magical practice together. And the very first thing that I do at the start of any working, no matter how big or small, even if I'm just like lighting a candle and some incense and doing a little bit of journaling, is I like to cast a circle. So casting a circle is one of the core practices in magic and witchcraft. It's how we create a protected, intentional space where energy can move clearly and consciously. So think of it like drawing an energetic boundary. It holds your energy in and it keeps external energy out. It's more than just a container though. It's the circle itself is a symbol. It's an energy. It's a portal, if you will. So circles have been sacred across cultures and traditions for thousands of years. We see them everywhere through our human history in stone circles, in medicine wheels, mandalas, labyrinths, halos, like temple blueprints, because the circle holds no edges, no hierarchy. It represents wholeness, protection, unity, and also the infinite. So when we cast a circle, we are stepping into that wholeness. We're entering into a space that exists both inside and outside of time, a liminal space where magic becomes possible. And in Wiccan traditions, the circle is described as between the worlds. So it's like a threshold space where the seen and the unseen meet. In ceremonial magic, it's a container for power and protection. And then like in folk practices, circles drawn in ash or salt or stones even were used to kind of define the sacred space or ward off unwanted spirits. So whether it's like complex or simple, the purpose is always the same: to shift your awareness, to cross a threshold, to signal to yourself and to the energy around you that something intentional is happening here. And some witches follow like a formal structure each time. They've got like their whole spiel. Others work more intuitively and will just kind of shape the circle depending on what work they're doing. In your own practice, you might cast a circle before any rituals and spells, before divination, so tarot reads or rune reads, before meditation even, or even just like a moment of stillness. Like sometimes the circle is the work, like that's all that you really wanted to do to hold that space. But what matters most is your intention and consistency. So the practice itself, to begin, you can just use your finger, or if you have an athame, which is like a long pointy kind of dagger type tool, or a wand, like a wooden stick that you have found and blessed as your wand. I also like to have candles and crystals for each direction point, and I also like to have something that represents each element. So like I have a feather for air, a little bowl of salt or soil for earth, a candle for fire, and a shell for water. And so you set up your altar or your working space, wherever it may be, however you like it. Place your objects down, so your crystals, your candles, your elemental objects, in their 4 direction points. So you can get like a compass app on your phone if you don't know where north, south, east, west is, and that will tell you. And then you want to stand, or you can sit in the center of your space. Take a few deep breaths and just feel yourself arrive in your time, in your magic. You always want to start facing the east and holding your tool out at that direction. You're going to have it at chest height and you're going to walk clockwise in a circle. So walking around and visualizing like a blue-white light tracing around your area, which is basically forming a full circle around you. And as you walk, you can say, I cast this circle between worlds, a boundary of protection and power. Within this circle, I am between worlds where energy flows freely. And I also like to picture and really connect with the elements at this point as I call them in. So I picture myself standing on a mountain top, for instance, for air, with like strong winds billowing around me. I then picture myself swimming in the ocean at dusk when it's like warm and there's like this beautiful light to represent water. I envision myself walking like in a deep, like magical forest with like soil and mud underneath me to represent earth. And then I usually picture myself standing by a huge bonfire to represent fire. So I thank the elements for being present with me today as they like serve me in my practice, as they kind of like a constant reminder of our earth, power of our earth and the universe around us. So once you've done your walk around your circle and you've like honed in the elements, you can just stand in the east and say the circle is cast, so mote it be. So everything starts and ends in the east. And then you just want to pause for a second. Feel the shift in your space. You're now within your own energetic container, your own temple, if you will. And from this point, your work begins. So the next video, I'll show you about how to like cleanse and ground your space, which I usually do straight after casting a circle. But I hope that that was an interesting, informative start to the circle container and the power that it has and how it can hold your own power and protection in place as well. So